Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has appealed to the people to donate generously to help the state recover from the devastation caused by Cyclone Migjam. He said he was donating his own salary for a month to the Chief Minister's fund and urged lawmakers and ministers to make similar gestures. He said more than 10 million people were affected by the storm, which battered Chennai city and surrounding areas on Monday. The Chief Minister also dismissed criticism of the government's response to the storm and said the city bounced back to normalcy within 3 days, due to efficient rescue operations. The Indian government has announced an immediate aid of 1,000 crore rupees to carry out repairs and relief to the people. Mild earth tremors were reported in Sengalpattu town near Chennai city early today. Some reports said they were also felt in Tirupattur district. Reports quoting the Geological Survey of India said the tremors were recorded at a depth of 10 kilometers. It said the strength of the quakes were 3.2 on the Richter scale. Residents said the tremors were felt between 7 and 7:45 a.m. As the ground shook, it set off a scare as people walked out of their homes. Though the area is not prone to earthquakes, the mild tremors come just days after the region was battered by a cyclonic storm. Lawmaker from the Trinamool Congress, Mahua Moitra, has been expelled from the Parliament's lower house. The expulsion came after a parliamentary ethics panel that probed allegations against her was put before the lower house today. The findings recommended expulsion of Moitra from the House, which was followed by a discussion by lawmakers. The firebrand Moitra has been accused of accepting money and gifts from businessman Darshan Hiranandani to ask questions in Parliament to defame the government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Reports said she accepted 2 crore rupees and luxury gifts. Moitra consistently denied accepting money or favors, but admitted her friends did type in her own questions, using her official login credentials. Mahua Moitra responded to her expulsion saying the Parliamentary Ethics Committee broke every rule. She met the reporters from news organizations outside Parliament immediately after her expulsion and said, as a next step, the CBI will come to my home to harass me. She described her expulsion as a witch hunt and the weaponization of the panel that probed allegations against her. Moitra was not allowed to speak inside the House, and some opposition members protested against her expulsion. The Congress party said it stood by Moitra. The Reserve Bank of India has retained its key lending rate at 6.5% for the 5th consecutive time. The bank's governor Shakti Kanta Das announced the decision. The move comes as inflation control remains a top priority and a better-than-expected economic growth. Reports also said there are expectations of a rise in food prices in the coming months. Key lending rate, also known as repo rate, is the rate of interest at which the Reserve Bank lends to other banks. This means the loan interest rates too are likely to remain unchanged. The bank also raised the payment limits on UPI for hospitals and educational institutions to rupees 5 lakhs per transaction from rupees 1 lakh. The former Chief Minister of Telangana K. Chandrasekhar Rao was admitted to a hospital early today after a fall at his home. Initial reports said doctors who examined him suspect that he may have suffered a hip fracture and might need surgery. He is being treated at Yashoda Hospital in Hyderabad, where he was rushed shortly after midnight. His Bharat Rashtra Samiti governed Telangana till November, before it was defeated in the polls. He was Chief Minister for 2 terms in a row, from 2014 to 2023. KCR, as he is known, is a politician with a large support base in Telangana and the state's first Chief Minister, after it was formed in 2014. The leader of the Zoram People's Movement, or ZPM, has been sworn in as the new Chief Minister of the northeastern state of Mizoram. Laldu Homa took office along with other leaders from the ZPM at a ceremony in the state capital Aizawl. Mizoram was one of 5 states that went to the polls in November to pick a new government. The ZPM secured a significant victory by winning 27 out of a total 40 seats and unseated the governing Mizo National Front. The BJP took just 2 and the Congress party managed 1 seat in the polls. Mizoram has a 40-member assembly, which means the state can have up to 12 ministers, including the chief minister. A video shared on social media shows Russian President Vladimir Putin crediting India's Narendra Modi for the strong and growing relations between the two nations. In the 45-second video, Putin says he was often surprised by Modi's tough decisions to protect India's national interests and its people. The clip with the audio in Hindi said, Putin's voice was generated using an artificial intelligence tool. In the video posted on X, Putin says, relations between Russia and India are constantly developing in all directions, and the main guarantee of this is the policy of Prime Minister Modi. The post gathered thousands of views in a short time. There's no clear word on why the video was posted. The office of India's President Drupadi Murmu said she was enthralled by piano performances by students of KM Conservatory, which is run by A.R. Rahman Foundation. The performance was staged at the Rashtrapati Bhavan Culture Center in Delhi. The students were children, some with an underprivileged background, presented an extraordinary musical recital. The president said in a statement, "The immaculate performances at such a tender age will inspire the young talent of the country to dream big and strive for excellence." The show climaxed with a mesmerizing piano performance by the Oscar winner, Rahman himself. A.R. Rahman's first hit came in a Tamil film in 1992, and he went on to become a household name in India and beyond. Reports say masked men sprayed an unknown substance in theaters in Canada that were screening Hindi movies. Police said 3 such incidents were reported on the same evening, within a span of just hours, in the city of Toronto. The audience were evacuated after several people started coughing, after the aerosol-based irritating substance was sprayed into the air. About 200 people were watching a movie in one of the theaters when masked men walked around and started spraying. Police have released photos of the suspects and said investigation was on. Police said they believe the 3 separate incidents were connected. The incident comes amid tensions between India and Canada over the issue of Sikh separatist activists. In Gaza, tens of thousands of Palestinians are fleeing into the city of Rafah to escape intense fighting. Reports say the city has no food or electricity and there are severe water shortages. Rafah is on the border with Egypt. Thousands have tried to go to UN schools to find shelter, but there was no place, and they had to sleep outside buildings. The Israeli military is now deep into the southern city of Khan Yunis in pursuit of Hamas militants. Earlier, thousands of civilians took shelter here after they were ordered to leave Gaza City in the north. On Thursday, the UN warned of a humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. Hamas has said more than 17,000 civilians have been killed in the Israeli operations. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned that Beirut city in Lebanon will become another Gaza if Hezbollah militants declare war on Israel's northern border. The Shia militant group has expressed support for Hamas since the fighting broke out in Gaza in early October after cross-border raids into Israel by Hamas militants. Hezbollah launches daily attacks on northern Israel but has not declared a full-scale military campaign yet. Netanyahu made the comments during a visit to the military's Northern Command, which is responsible for protecting the country's northern regions. He also praised Israeli reserve units for their readiness to respond in the event of a war. Federal prosecutors have filed tax charges against Hunter Biden, a second criminal case against the U.S. president's son. The 9-count indictment says he schemed to evade at least $1.4 million in federal taxes from 2016 to 2019. The 3 felonies and 6 misdemeanors include failure to file and pay taxes, false tax return, and evasion of assessment. Hunter Biden was indicted in September on federal firearm charges in Delaware. The 53-year-old son of President Joe Biden has already pleaded not guilty in the gun case. The White House did not comment on the new charges. If convicted in the tax case, Hunter Biden could face up to 17 years in prison. The Indian-American community performed the traditional Gujarati Garba dance at the iconic Times Square in New York City to celebrate its inclusion in UNESCO's Cultural Heritage List. In freezing temperatures on Thursday, members of the Indian diaspora showed up in large numbers to perform the dance. Earlier this week, UNESCO's Intergovernmental Committee for the Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage inscribed Garba of Gujarat on the representative list of the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity during its 18th session in Kasane in Botswana. Many traditional garbas are performed around a centrally lit lamp or a picture of the Hindu goddess Shakti. The inclusion of Garba now makes it India's 15th inscription on the list. Reports say former India pacer Srishant has been issued a legal notice by the Legends League Cricket, also known as LLC. The issue involves an on-field quarrel between Srishant and fellow cricketer Gautam Gambhir. Srishant had accused Gambhir of calling him a fixer during the match between India Capitals and Gujarat Giants. According to reports, the LLC commissioner said Srishant violated his contract by taking the issue to social media. The notice is believed to have said that no dialogue is possible with him until he removes all videos he has posted on social media. The notice also reportedly said that the umpires did not mention the use of any offensive language by Gambhir. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.